guys, it's Felisa, and I'm still under the weather, but I wanted to continue with trying to get content out. And today I was in the middle of completing some holiday gifts, Christmas gifts for my staff, and I thought, why not? I mean, you guys might want to have some tips and some ideas for stocking stuffers that are relatively inexpensive, particularly if you have, a lot of people that you need to or want to give tokens of Christmas cheer to. I happen to have a pretty sizable staff, and they are all awesome and support me in the work that I do every single day. And honest to God, if it wasn't for them, yeah, I wouldn't be able to do my job. So I'm so thankful for them, and I have a pretty amazing team. So every year I try and do something for them. And every year it seems like I have more and more staff members. So it can become a little cost prohibitive, but I want to make sure that I'm at least celebrating them during the Christmas season. So this year I've decided to do some holiday gift jars. And I'll kind of tell you what that means. So I purchased a case of just, pint size mason jars. I filled them with some Starlight mints, just these regular everyday mints. You can put whatever you want in them. I've seen, you can do gumballs, you can do gummy bears. You can, although I don't necessarily recommend gummy bears. I actually don't recommend loose candy, period, particularly, chocolate like M&Ms and stuff like that, unless you can be assured that it's going to be in a cool, dry place, because it will melt. So I do prefer things that are wrapped. So if you're going to do chocolate, then I highly recommend like Hershey's Kisses, or something in miniature that has a wrapper to it, so that in case one or more melts, they can be easily extracted, or you can stick them in the freezer and save it. But I kind of like the holiday mints just to keep on your desk for after lunch, or for that day that we have onions, child, and you got to go into a meeting. Anyway, so this is the jar in and of itself. And I filled it with mints. And then what I do is I take the lid and I just use some everyday, I'm going to put it up here. Can you see it? It's just a matte finish chalk paint. And I will caution, I just use a regular paintbrush to apply it. I had to do a few coats of this because it's so light, and so when it dries very thin. So if you want to make sure that you have enough surface cover in order to write on it, then my recommendation is that you apply at least 5 to 7 coats, let it dry, and then apply another 5 to 7 coats. I know it sounds like a lot, but when you are, when you're using a paintbrush, you're spreading it thin anyway. And so once it dries, it may not dry to the consistency that you want it to, or to the thickness that you want it to. And then it may be missing in some spots. So, because of the streaks and whatnot. So you want to make sure that it's completely covered. But when it's dry, you should have a surface that looks like this. So even though, you can see the swirls, but the idea is that it looks more like a chalkboard. And then, excuse me, so then from there, what you can do is write your holiday message, whatever it is. And my writing preference is chalkboard. I love these pens, and they do come in different colors. This one just is white, but it is, the liquid that goes on chalky, and because it's in a pen style, it's so much easier to write with. It's so much easier to do decorations and things like that. And so my final message, whatever it is more legible, in my opinion, than actually using chalk. From there, to decorate the jar, once you've gotten your message, I'm fond of these pre-made kind of chalkboard finish labels, where you can just use them as gift tags. And so whatever the person's name is, you'll write it here using your chalkboard pen. And the final step is I buy these. It was only $4 at my local Walmart, and it comes in a pack of 10. So let me show you what I do with these, because these are already on a wire, but I don't want the wire for the jar. So I just take this and then remove the wire. So I have this. And then I also purchased just a roll of the ribbon, the glitter ribbon. But what I wound up doing was cut off a section and then cutting that in half. And so I have my handy dandy glue gun. So I take the wire off. I keep it pinched in the middle. You know, you want to put a drop of the glue in the back discreetly. And then take your ribbon, apply pressure for a few minutes so that it can, you know, adhere, and then wrap it. And be careful, because your glue gun is hot glue. I don't know if I need to say that, but you know, I've had quite a few hot glue moments where I'm like, good God, that's hot. Well, fool, yeah, it's hot glue. So I wrap that, keeping the shape of the bow. I wrap it a couple of times, just really tightly, and then apply just a little bit more glue in the back. Apply pressure for a few moments, and then remove the excess. Okay, and voila, you have a nice new bow without the wire. And I should mention that the reason that I like the reason that I buy it already uniform is for a couple of reasons. Number one, this is wired, so you can shape it and bend it and all that kind of stuff, but it just saves the hassle of having to make your own bow. Now, if you want to save more money, you could just buy the roll of ribbon, you know, buy the wired ribbon and shape your own bows and hot glue them. I don't want to do all that, so I buy them pre-made. $4 to me is not a whole heck of a lot. And then once you're done with the ribbon, you want to take your hot glue, and what you're going to do is put a little glue in the center and then apply it to your jar, like so. And I'm not going to do this one because I'm not quite finished with it. I do like to put the chalkboard label on it first before I put the ribbon on, because I don't want to like mess up the writing, excuse me. But at the end of the project, what you'll have is something that looks like this. And so you have your holiday greeting on top, you have it personalized with the recipient's name, and then your bow, whatever bow you want to put on it. And there you are. It takes me probably less than 3 minutes to make each one of those jars. I did buy a case, and actually I apologize, it's the half pint now that I'm looking at it. And these are the anchor hocking. I think I paid like $8 for a case of 12. So if you have a lot of people, you know, you get 24 for $16, so on and so forth. We all had multiplication in grade school, I'm sure. So all total, you know, you probably will spend, if you have to, you know, make gifts for about 24 people, 25 people, no, not 25 people, but like 25 to 30 people. You can make it for about $1.50 a jar, quite honestly. And, you know, that keeps your cost containment down. I still think that it's personalized enough where, you know, people know that you're thinking of them, and it is, you know, thoughtful enough where you can certainly make sure that people in your life or in your workspace understand that, you know, you care about them, and, you know, you're wishing them Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, all that kind of stuff. So if you have any questions, leave them below. But I thought that I would come and I would demonstrate that. It's just something different for this Vlogmas, because in my other life, I do enjoy the good craft. And I've done some other things for my staff. I have two sets of staff, and so this is for one set. I'm gonna have some crafts for another set, which I'll do a vlog separately from that because it involves like my Cricut and rhinestones. But anyway, y'all have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I will talk to y'all later on. Bye.